To try to show you just how ridiculous our system has become, look at who we get to vote for. Look what Americans are stuck with in these no-choice elections, this lesser of two evils mentality. Just in the past 20 years, let's see who's been behind the wheel of this economic nightmare. The Clintons. After the 1991 Bilderberg meeting, Bill Clinton, who attended, came out as an immediate front-runner to become president. He gave us NAFTA. He gave us the disgrace of Monica Lewinsky. He repealed the Glass-Steagall Act. We're still dealing with Hillary as our Secretary of State. The Clintons have a trail of dirty politics longer than the Great Wall of China. How about neocon hero Darth Cheney? He was the Secretary of Defense under Bush 1, although he asked for and received 5 draft deferments during the Vietnam War. He was also a former CFR director. And it's well publicized he was the CEO of Halliburton, who miraculously was granted many no-bid contracts during the war in Iraq. He basically ran our country for 8 years, although he did have a puppet named George Bush. This guy never accomplished anything in the private sector. He had a horrendous 8 years. The former Skull and Bones member gave us the modern-day Vietnam, which is the war in Iraq. He's very proud of GATT, which is a disaster. His prescription plans for seniors is so far over budget that nobody even talks about it. And the TARP program, which he oversaw, was nothing more than the beginning of the huge banker bailouts. That was his parting gift to the big banks, thanks to his Secretary of the Treasury, Henry Paulson, who is a former CEO of Goldman Sachs. He actually received $200 million in stock options from Goldman Sachs before he went to work for Georgie Boy. You starting to get the drift here? This is dirty politics. These are the scum of the earth, and we're just beginning. We'll shift gears a little bit. Let's start talking about some of these guys. How about Barney Frank? This is what a hardcore left-wing liberal looks like. This guy actually admitted an affair with a prostitute, a male prostitute. I'm not gay bashing, I'm just telling you like it is. He vigorously defended Fannie and Freddie as their bubbles were expanding, and now he has the gall to come out and act like he's their enemy. How about this guy, Harry Reid? He's the one who said that Obama lacked the Negro dialect, and thanks to our useless media, he got away with it. He voted yes on cash for clunkers, yes on the stimulus plans, yes on a congressional pay raise just this past summer as the country was going down the toilet. Of course, he voted no on a constitutional ban on same-sex marriage, and he voted no for a full Senate debate on cap and trade. This guy is horrible. How about this nightmare, Nazi Pelosi? This is what a full-blown supporter of amnesty looks like. She actually wanted fines and imprisonment for people who didn't go along and pay for their Obamacare. It's in the Pelosi Healthcare H.R. 3962. About this weasel, Tiny Tim Geithner, who is Obama's Secretary of the Treasury. I can sum him up real fast because I'm going to read you a quote that this loser said just in the last couple weeks. Quote, "Just because we've said the government will stand behind these loans doesn't mean we actually have to. I mean, the government has the right to walk away from debts it is unable or unwilling to pay." Can you believe that? And the quote continues. Let me read you a little more. "The federal government has what is called sovereign immunity. That means no one can take us to court and force us to pay our debts. And you can forget about anyone in the government going to jail. No judge in his right mind would ever contemplate such a foolhardy move." That is the height of arrogance right there. Ben Shalom Bernanke. Obama appointed him to another term in spite of his devastating failures. He never tells anybody where the money is, where it's going, just like Geithner and Paulson. He thinks he's immune to everything. He spearheaded this $23.7 trillion that Dylan Ratigan was speaking of, which is just the raping of America's future, doing it right through the Fed window. Something interesting I know about this guy that I hadn't heard. He graduated from Harvard in 1975, where he lived in the Winthrop House. Also living there with him is present-day Goldman Sachs CEO Lloyd Blankfein. Want to talk about somebody protected by the mainstream media? How about the teleprompter king of Kenya? Former Illinois state senator with virtually no real experience. Went to law school, worked for Acorn. His mother, Ann Dunham Sotera, even worked briefly for Peter Geithner, yeah, that's Tiny Tim's father, at the Ford Foundation. There's several lawsuits out there right now because we can't even see this guy's birth certificate. Amazing. This unconstitutional president is buried deep in the bankers' pockets. Some of his top contributors in 2008 were Morgan Stanley, J.P. Morgan, UBS AG, Citigroup, Goldman Sachs. Need I say more? These so-called leaders got us in this mess. And now do we really think they can lead us out? No way. They are all puppets of the CFR, the Trilateral Commission, and the Bilderbergs. As Obama continues to fail, the mainstream media will begin the next wave of false hope through Sarah Palin or Mitt Romney or the next Democratic superhero. But the path will be the same. More wars, more debt, more unfunded liabilities. It is up to we the people to fix this mess. In God we trust is more than a slogan. It is the path we need to get back on our constitutional ways. Everybody needs to wake up the next guy. In the meantime, start stocking up. It is coming. You need food, you need water, guns and ammo, gold and silver. Till next time, good luck and God bless.